So this list here, I had, this is the first time I'm reading this. I actually talked about it on the video and did the equations, but then I wrote it out, and now you look at this. This is the upper alchemy. So basically, before the hot fight where I screamed my head off, and then the neighbor got upset and all that, and I got upset. It was upsetting that I made this list. So I was focusing on the alchemy, see? So my executive power was going towards these goals. So I'm going to read them, and I'll put them up here, right here. Number 1, purchasing property in the new earth. 2, my lifestyle is in balanced union. See how simple that is? So I'm looking at that. 3, I am a portal between heaven and earth. It's the whole Christ thing. The mythic gift. The cross, the anchor, and the ankh. Being balanced. Equilibrium. It's that alchemy polarity. It's not about manifestation per se. I'm not saying manifestation isn't great. It's more about embodying the principles, the colors, the vibration, the art, the artistic, the art and the science. So I was doing this, looking at this. I'm reading it now. 3, I am a portal between heaven and earth. That's profound. 4, all things manifest from within miraculously now. Who am I to say how a miracle occurs? First of all, I was not breaking the law. Yes, I upset the neighbor. Okay? I upset myself. And I upset Russ. Most determinedly. How to be extremely forceful to push your point and not, lose your house type of level. I am safe, secure, and perfectly made. See, my executive power within me is perfectly made. See, I'm really seeing that the issue is that women are not building soul force, soul power, and energy. First of all, just because the woman that I talked to on the street just a minute ago, I just told her, have fun and dress pretty, and she took it as a fucking insult. I did not mean that to be an insult. In order to be sovereign, you want all these things, you want to be happy, you want to have all this great stuff in your life, but in order to be sovereign, you have to have that from within, and part of that is, maybe sometimes trying to dress so that you feel pretty. So sorry. 5, I'm safe, secure, and perfectly made. See? I'm going to finish it, but I want to interject that when I had the argument and was yelling and having an upsetting situation, that's not how I want to live. But I think that we've confused, this manifestation matrix. Like, it's just about being an identity. It's being a headpiece. You're in a head all the time. You're just absorbing mental belief programs and being formed and processed into this person, and anything outside of that programming is wrong. See? So it would be, the society would say something like, I should just divorce him and leave and split and get half the money. Like that's actually easier and more preferable than me actually yelling at someone, which, by the way, is not against the law, and telling him this is how it's going to go. And then it goes that way, because it has gone that way, actually. Do you see what I'm saying? The ludicrousness of our society and the way we operate. So it's not about, whatever is anybody's opinion, and nobody wants to hear somebody yelling. The bottom line is the guilt and the remorse and the attack and the anger, and then you put somebody in a court of law. So when I called my sister after that all happened, because I was upset, and she literally was talking to me, and and this is all about the reading, because we're talking about executive power. That's what we're doing. All these experiences that I'm having are are showing me and showing you this is what happens. Why don't we have executive power? Why don't women have executive power? They aren't really willing to, number one, make the commitment, make the agreement, do the thing that they said they're going to do within a relationship, because it's all about relationships. But yet say, not kowtow and not back down and not be a doormat and not say nothing and not, give in. Do you realize that what I've discovered is that the majority of women that leave their husbands are leaving because of social pressure and not because that's what they really want to do? Because most women don't really want a divorce. They just want to fucking smack their husband against the head. So that's my form of doing it, is by yelling. But I felt like in this instance, in all the conversations and doing the reading, I could see everything completely shifting. And so, yeah, it has completely shifted. Thank you, God. 6, my work, and listen to this. This is exactly, I'm telling you, okay? My work is to embody a full range of higher vibrating emotions and their higher visions. That's my work. How can you do that as a woman if you're living under a complete tyranny? And these conversations and these arguments, I know as a fact, a lot of women are holding their tongue to not say something to these men. You can't function. We're not islands. No man is an island. Okay? People need to be responsible for the way they're being with other people. And that's the problem with our society. It's just, it's not happening. And that's why people can't be in relationships. 7, I can make fun and interesting videos to draw customers towards me. The only way I can really actually do that is just try to do the best I can in the videos. And honestly, it is really to be as honest as I can be, because what I've also seen is the issue isn't trying to squelch and be nice and kind. The issue is the unwillingness to be honest. And honesty doesn't mean putting people down, but it does mean respecting the sovereign self. Because as women, we can't be with men and be doormats. The two don't go together. No real man is going to be with a doormat. And no man that forces a woman to be a doormat is going to be with her. It's going to end one way or the other. So the best thing that you can do as a woman, I'm not saying I'm no one to give advice to anyone. I'm just saying. I'm not going to do that. 8, and look at this. 8, both the good and the bad lead to the fruition of the higher vision. In a war, don't you have all these battles? Don't you think that? So anyway, I was talking to my sister, and I realized talking to her, it was so in my face that the whole time, and I knew it. It's not like I didn't know it, but I didn't want to face what our relationship was because I felt like I needed her to talk to. But she is a wolf in sheep's clothing. She basically talks to my other 2 sisters who I have no relationships with them because they are so low level. We do not even need to get into it. But they live together, they talk together, everything. And I thought she was my friend, but she told me at the end of our conversation, she was being super judgmental of another person in our family. And I was like, no, you can't really do that. And I'm always the one telling her, don't be so, you can't do that. Like, you have to understand how bad it is. See, women, I think that what women and men may be missing is how really bad it is in the social atmosphere. Like, don't just keep lying to yourself about the way it really is and the way people really are and the way they really actually treat you. Okay? Because the only people that make it are usually the liars and the manipulators. And that is, in the end, because it's always, you know what? Anytime you do something in order to, it's not really doing the thing that you were intending to do, and it really is going against it in every way, and you need to lie to do it because you think you have to do that in order to get to that. But in the meantime, you're tearing your soul down by living a lie, and then you're building up all this trauma and drama and karma from being a horrible person. And then when someone like me comes up and yells at someone because they're doing things that person say, oh, it would be better if I just divorced him and left. And this is what my sister tells me. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. And then she told me, my problem was my set, which I'm talking about right now, and that basically that if that wasn't I trying to subvert the Bible, and wasn't I teaching satanic things, and wasn't I doing that, and then that was the whole problem. So it was weird because I can see it, you know. And then when she said it, it was like I just literally snapped on my husband. Then she said that to me, and it was like I knew it was from this. I knew. Because I read this every day. I read it all the time. It's just, I hear it in my car. I take it with me. I look at it, read it all the time. I knew it was in me. I was like, oh my God, this is from the list. Because basically the clues from the universe, from the questions I asked, are showing me the truth of everything. Like it's saying, this is the fucking truth. This is what you need to do. And so I was doing everything. And then the neighbor called, of course, because I told my husband that he was going to lose everything if he didn't stop. And then, of course, the renter called, and it was, you know, we're in trouble, basically. Oh, my God. Anyhow, it's weird. You wouldn't think that I'd be talking about executive power this way. And then when it happened, I saw that it was happening, and I saw that I lost it. And I just was like, it literally felt like it was tangible. It was like all those situations and all those things that had been over this time that I've been asking, please stop doing that he'd been doing. It was like they were right here, and it was like they were right on my face, and my voice, my words would come out, and then another vision would come out, another vision, and we just, and I knew I was losing it. And the thing of it is, I knew. I was trying not to be yelling too bad, and it just does kind of suck that walls can be thicker, you know what I mean? But I don't know how loud it was. I'm sure I was loud. But I think for me to go into guilt and to start defending it in some way, it's not like, so yeah, that's just the way I'm going to say it, because I think that those situations are not something that we want. And certainly we're looking at the social environment, and we're seeing a lot of, you know, people, like I said, with a woman, she got mad at me because I told her to dress pretty. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to come across that way. That was not my intention. I think that I'm just such a strange person. I really am just such a strange person. And I get it that people just, because they're zombies, right? They're just like, Automan. And I come along. I mean, honestly, it's weird. I really feel like that's how I am. I feel magical. I always feel magical. I am magical. I have so many mystical experiences. And it's weird because they're just like normal. All right, I love you. I have a doctor's appointment, so I have to go. Talk to you later.